I am here with Katie Anderson. She is the founder and principal consultant at KVJ Anderson Consulting. And you also lead trips to Japan for organizations who want to learn more about the Toyota production system, kaizen, and Japanese customer service directly from the source. So you call this the Japan study trip, correct?
Yep.
All right. And I started reading about it personally, about the study trips to Japan on your blog at kvjanderson.com. And then I also follow you on LinkedIn, so I saw a ton of the pictures that you were posting from your last couple years on your trips. And I was intrigued by the deep learnings that are happening around lean concepts in the Japanese culture. And I remember the first time when I saw some of the pictures, I remember thinking to myself, I have to be on one of these trips. So I called you this last year, just before you were leaving on your study trip, and now I'm booked for the next study trip coming up here in 2020. So I'm super excited.
I'm super excited to have you too, Patrick. So yeah, thanks for being one of the first people to jump on board. And yeah, it's going to be, I'm getting so excited already for next year.
Absolutely. So Katie, can you tell me a little bit about your background in Lean and how the idea for the Japan study trip was formed?
Yeah, sure. I've been a Lean consultant for many years. First started as an internal Lean consultant in healthcare in California. Worked at two different organizations, and the first one really started to get everything started at their, sort of the grassroots level and getting the buy-in, and then moved into a more senior Lean consulting role where I was really helping support the strategy deployment across a very large organization. And 6 years ago, I decided to found my own consulting practice so that I really could help broader group of organizations and leaders to lead and live with intention about creating a better organization for themselves and for others. So it's been really fun and exciting. And I now work with, all different types of companies. Still, healthcare is where I came from, but I work with all different organizations. Yeah. And then in 2000, yeah, it's been fun. And, the leadership concepts go across whatever organization. It just happens to be
any industry.
Any industry. And so that's what's really fun. And where my passion is now is helping support and inspire leaders to become even better and to create, develop people in their organizations.
Well, and I see you've had people from all different industries that have gone on the study trips, correct?
Absolutely. We had folks from healthcare, from water management, from manufacturing, from aerospace, even more, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, and government and more in the last 2 years. So it's a really nice, diverse group of people and a really nice mix of gender and country representation as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, amazing. And you also choose a few themes and learning concepts for your trips. Can you tell me about the themes that you had for last year? I was super excited about a couple of those that were really interesting to me.
Yeah, well, for me, the most important, I should just take a step back. So when we moved to Japan as a family for my husband's job in 2015, and I was super excited as a Lean practitioner to go and have this chance to really learn more deeply about Lean at the source of the Toyota production system. And what really inspired me was not just the technical side of what you can see physically at different sites, which is still amazing and really great to see in practice, but it's the people and the leadership side. And that's really been my focus on both of the trips that I've led in the past and will continue to be the focus of the trips, about leadership, about people development, and about culture and how there are elements of Japanese culture that really support and encourage what we call Lean here in the West. Yeah. I mean, there's other things that really inhibit some of those Lean practices and sort of typical Japanese culture as well. And sort of what are some of the things that Toyota might have done a little differently than other companies, and now how is that being applied across Japan? But it's not that, so it's really around that people side and how do we, and the principles behind what we call Lean, rather than just the tools and the process. Although it's really great to see that and learn about that as well.
Oh yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So, and you've been doing this for a few years now. What would you say, in last year, the year before, what would you say were some of the greatest aha moments for some of the participants that have gone through on the trip?
I was actually just looking through some of the feedback from the participants in the last trip, and I was really struck by, and this was same from the trip I led before, how many people thought that going to visit Toyota was going to be the #1 experience on the trip for them. Yeah. And in fact, everyone said, yeah, that was great, but no, the really most important experiences for them were having, one, the opportunity to go to an elementary school and to learn about how some of the concepts of this deep regret for waste and how a sense of community and respect for environment is developed early in childhood, and how that really ties to some of the really fundamental principles of Lean. And then also having the chance to directly interact with some very passionate leaders in Japan, both at the sites and then, for example, Mr. Isao Yoshino, who worked at Toyota for over 40 years, he joins our trip for many days. And back in 2020, his aim is to come for the whole trip as long as his wife and his schedule permit it, but many days on the bus, getting a chance to talk over meals and during transportation. So it's really getting that deeper, richer experience as well. And so sort of that element of culture, inspirational leadership, and direct access were really the highlights for the group.
Yeah, and I can't wait to. Yeah, that's going to be a highlight for me for sure.
Yeah, and for me too. I'm actually writing a book right now about Mr. Yoshino's experiences, because I want to have, not everyone is able to come to Japan or hear him talk and have that opportunity to hear those stories as well. So stay tuned. That will be coming out in early 2020. And then this year, also for 2020, the May trip, Ritsuo Shingo is confirmed to join our trip for a few days as well. So he'll be coming along on our visit to some of the Toyota suppliers in the Nagoya region. So that's really
amazing. That's amazing. And the study trip coming up here in 2020, it's May 10th through the 16th.
Yes.
And I'm going to be attending, so I'm going to be there. And can you tell me a little bit more about what I can expect for the agenda on this trip? Obviously, you just mentioned a couple things. What else are you expecting here in 2020?
So we only have a few things that are confirmed right now, because it's a little too far in advance to confirm that with some of the companies. But our intention, and I work with a wonderful coordinator in Japan who serves as our interpreter, and she's my real partner in this as well. So we've been communicating about the agenda. So our plan is similar to last year, and to have the focus of the first few days be in the Nagoya area, where we're sort of focusing on the supply chain of Toyota, and also not only how materials flow, but also then how has TPS sort of worked its way backwards through that supply chain in the leadership, and what that looks like on the shop floor and from a management perspective, and as well as going to an elementary school outside the Nagoya area.
Yeah,
and then
forward to that.
It's going to be great. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to visit a company called Ina Foods as well, which is out in the Nagano Prefecture. I was beyond thrilled when they invited us to come on and go to their organization in May this last year.
Yeah, and I saw some pictures from that. That looked really.
Yeah, I'm actually going to turn around the book, this little tiny book called Tree Ring Management. I'm actually holding it the wrong way because they read that backwards. Tree Ring Management, and it's this leader who has a smallish company, but Toyota executives and other executives of huge Japanese companies go to learn from them about the perspective of how you invest in people and having a long-term view. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to go back there as well. And then we'll be shifting sort of more of the broader Tokyo area, hoping that we'll see some companies who are in different industries as well outside of manufacturing, likely have a chance to talk with the leader of the Shinkansen cleaning company that knows about the 7-minute miracle, and really how they inspired the employees to have a whole different mindset and revitalize their spirit, and then how that in turn created this really wonderful customer service that's now written about all over the world.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and also hoping we can go back to see Agura Metal, which is run by a female leader and a good friend of mine as well. So and then very important to me as well is to have a few cultural experiences. So I love Darumas, and I took everyone to the Daruma Temple, which is very special to me, and so I have a chance to see some of those cultural aspects, And we also stayed in a traditional Japanese ryokan hotel where everyone slept on the tatami mats, and we had karaoke and a wonderful Japanese meal, and you could partake in the onsen, the hot spring bath if you want to, and have a chance to get outside of, more business hotels. We stay at, well-known international hotels.
Sure.
During the trip. And so to have that real cultural experience and get outside of the big cities as well is really important to me, to give everyone a chance to see bits of the culture as well as have a rich business learning experience.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So last question, if someone was listening to this interview and they were interested to join us in Japan on the study trip, what would be the best way for them to contact you?
So two ways. One is to go to my website, kbjanderson, with an on.com, and then /Japan trip. It has all the information there, and I'm in the process of putting up more testimonials and some videos from last year. And then you can email me at Katie, Katie, at kbjanderson.com. So those are the best ways, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Katie. As I said, I'm super excited about the opportunity to spend some time in Japan, learning lean concepts within the Japanese culture, and especially eager to meet and get to know some of those Toyota leaders that you've already connected with and have had as guests on the trip, and at the actual birthplace of the Toyota production system. So just really excited about it. Can't wait.
I can't wait to have you as part of the group too. To me, it's not only the learning experience, which I can sort of help create and craft, but the people who come on this trip that is a huge part of it, and I'm excited to have you as part of the group. We only have 7 seats remaining. 13 have already been filled, so jump on board and become a part of it.
Drop dead date for registration, Katie. What's the last?
The drop dead date is about 2 months before the trip, so that would be in May to March. March, but it's really, the seats are filling up really quickly. I think the testimony, as you saw on like LinkedIn and people's blogs and other things, that really seeing what a great experience it was. So the trip is filling up, and I am still offering a discounted price through November, so people can get on board with that too.
All right. Thanks so much, Katie.
Great. Talk to you soon.